Hello and welcome to another audio meditation for empaths, infused with Reiki energy. I'm David. I'm an intuitive coach and I support empaths in getting their groove back and manifesting their passion project. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel to be notified about future posts, including the weekly meditations like this, also my monthly energy forecast, and lots of other content that is going to be forthcoming about the experience of being an empath. So this week's theme was voted for in our Facebook group. You can join that via the link in the video description. And our theme this week is releasing the past. I just wanted to say that this is going to be quite a gentle experience, so I'm not going to ask you to visualize memories or aspects of the past that you might find difficult or traumatic. The idea is to create an energy shift, and then in time the energy can improve our thoughts and what emerges as thoughts in our mind, and therefore the emotional charge connected to those thoughts as well, which then cascades down to the physical body and anything we might be holding in the physical body relating to past experiences. Now, obviously, looking at the past requires some investigation in terms of beliefs that it has created that we've brought with us to the present day. But again, we're not going to be psychoanalytical today. We're not going to be digging. It's just a gentle, energetic shift. And in the future, this meditation would be useful to you if you're struggling with certain thoughts or memories or awarenesses of the past, and you're maybe trying too hard to try to think differently about it. It's very easy to kind of get knotted up in our thinking and then try too hard to kind of solve that puzzle or undo the knots in the ball of wool. And so going back to the energy foundation can be a solution for that, and that's what I'm intending for you here. Quick introduction to this journey. I will be sharing Reiki energy for the intention that it uplifts anybody listening. Reiki is simply universal life force energy. It can create improvements and balances mentally, emotionally, spiritually and physically. It's not a miracle cure, it's not faith healing. Please do go and see a doctor if you have any doubts or concerns about your health, mentally or physically. However, Reiki does create effects within us which can be felt sometimes as shifts in emotion. So I'll be giving you some aftercare tips about the detox process of Reiki at the end of this session. Make sure you listen to that so you can take care of yourself in the days ahead. But there's nothing to be nervous about. Your energy system will only drink in the amount that you are ready for. So a good rule of thumb with Reiki is that I'm not injecting you with this, like a hypodermic syringe, but it's more like a straw, and you're drinking the energy. With me being the conduit, I suppose, from the universe, and again, your energy system knows best. It knows how much to introduce into your system. But know that this is always for the highest good, and it is essentially a safe and empowering process for you. In this meditation, make sure that you are in a cozy space where you will not be disturbed by people or animals or devices of any kind. You don't need to watch this video because it's audio only. You just need to hear my voice. So hopefully that's going to help. Let's get going. I would also recommend that you have a blanket because your temperature might drop whilst you're still and meditative, and also a glass of water to begin the replenishing process, the detox process. Let's go and explore this journey. Okay, so first of all, just make yourself comfortable in your seated or laying position. Most important thing today is that you are cozy. So no strict meditation posture is necessary. And it might take us a while to release the effects of the day so far. The tensions in our body, the thoughts racing through our mind. So we're just going to begin by focusing on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to do that a few times. Just paying attention to this physical experience. It's absolutely fine if random thoughts or images emerge in your mind's eye. We don't have to banish them, we just acknowledge them, and then we turn our attention back to the breath. And that's going to be a good rule for this journey. Anytime you feel a little bit distracted, just go back to the breath and the awareness of the breath in and out of the body, that physical sensation. Observing what your body does to enable this process. You do this unconsciously anyway. It's as easy as falling off a log. And so see how your body supports you now as you're breathing in and out. Have an awareness of the earth beneath your feet. Even if your feet are not placed on the ground. Doesn't matter whether you're on the ground floor or further up. Just acknowledge a connection with Mother Earth and earth energy and the ground beneath your feet. You might sense that as a warmth or as a pulsing energy in your feet. There might be an emotional shift that occurs with that. Now, just imagine that the energy is rising up your body now. This happens easily. It's not something that you have to do with effort. We're also going to imagine some soft sunlight above your head. And you're basking in this. And the energy from heaven, from sky, from the sun, is working its way down through your head. And these two energies are going to meet at your heart center now. The earth energy and the sky energy, blending perfectly. Just acknowledge anything that happens within you as these two beautiful energies merge. And you're going to sense the presence of your guide now. You may have met your guide in our previous meditations. Your guide can be singular or plural. of any gender expression that feels right for you today. Could be human or animal. Could be a plant or a type of tree. Could even be a symbol or a singular image. The most important thing to focus on is that sense of a loving presence now, who has joined you for this journey. Be mindful of how that feels. Is it a physical experience? Can you feel it as a change in temperature? Maybe there's a tingling. Maybe something stirs in you emotionally, or there is some imagery that pops into your mind's eye. And tell your subconscious to make a note of this so that you can have an awareness of your guide being around you in the waking world as well. Begin to sense that the room you are in is filling with a loving presence, a kind and powerful and transformative presence. Helping you to feel supported, helping you to feel less alone in the world. Helping you to feel that you have backup for anything that you struggle with on a day-to-day basis. We're now going to imagine that we're sitting in a cinema. The lighting is subdued, as if we are waiting for the film to begin. You are seated in the front row, and there is no one else in the theatre except you. You become aware of the sensation at your heart centre, where we've blended earth and sky energies. And we're just going to enjoy that for a moment. Also sensing the loving, strong presence of our guides. Your cinema seat is cosy. You start to notice a soft light coming forward from your heart centre. It starts as a pinprick of light, and it grows larger until it becomes a beam which moves forward onto the empty cinema screen in front of you. And as your light from your heart hits the screen, it begins to form an image which gets larger and larger until it fills the whole screen. This is the image of a corridor with a marble checkered floor and doors on either side. You now step into that movie and begin to walk down the corridor. Be aware of the physical sensation of walking on this floor. Maybe it creates a sound. You're just going to enjoy walking down this corridor for a while. There are doors on either side of you, but you don't feel pulled to any of those as yet. You just keep walking. It's beautifully quiet in this space. There is a feeling of sacredness, and that this space has been created just for you and your healing and your empowerment. You notice after a while that the floor seems to be slightly sloped. You're walking downwards. And as you walk further along, the lighting gets more subdued, and the corridor, the hallway, becomes slightly narrower. This is a comforting experience. And you notice now that there are no doors left, but that the checkered floor becomes a stairway, a spiral stairway leading downwards. This spiral stairway is lit with candles. There is a lovely sense of reassurance and contentment, because you know that whatever awaits you at the bottom of this spiral staircase is going to support your healing. Moving down, further down, and we finally reach the last few steps. And we enter a room with a large bathing space. We could think of this like a shallow, safe swimming pool. There are 2 or 3 steps that you climb up to then go into the pool. You can enter the pool however you wish, wearing special clothing, or taking your clothes off, whichever is more comfortable for you. You are currently alone in this space, so you can do whatever you like in order to feel at home. and comfortable. And then whenever you're ready, take those 2 or 3 steps up to the edge of the pool. And slowly walk into the water. The water is warm. You find that you can sit on the bottom of the pool with your head and torso way above the surface of the water, similar to a jacuzzi. Find yourself a comfortable position now, seated in the water. There is soft music being played in this room as you sit in the pool. Pay attention now to what that sounds like, the rhythm, the instruments that might be used, the period in history where this music may have come from. Sometimes we can hear lyrics or words within the music. Take a few moments to listen and to absorb the music, which is infused with healing tones. In the vision, move your arms and legs around to enjoy the sensation of the water around your limbs. You can now take a few moments to look around this space. This is a sacred space just for you. So you might notice particular details or symbols. Make a note of these. Ask your subconscious to store these images. On the other side of the pool, you notice a figure emerging from the water. This is a loving presence, a divine feminine presence, a goddess, if you will. The goddess gives you plenty of space, but simply announces her arrival, smiling at you. She too is submerged in the water. And after a time, she begins to move her arms through the surface of the water, creating a gentle rippling effect that you can sense. it produces a gentle rocking sensation, which is very soothing. It's at this point in the meditation that I'm going to introduce the Reiki energy. You look over at your goddess and her hands begin to glow. As her hands touch the water in which you are both sitting, a light begins to emerge and the colour of the water begins to change. Maybe you can see the colour. Maybe it appears as several colours blended together. This is a colour that you need today. And this is the goddess sending her healing energy to you through the water. You are soaking up this effect, the gentle rippling of the water and the change in colour and the light that is now being infused into the water. If you feel inspired, you can move through the water towards your goddess, or you can enjoy your own space at your end of the pool, whichever you feel guided to. The goddess has a warm, inviting and fun energy. And so if you choose to move towards her, this feels like a calming and comforting experience. The goddess would like to present you with 3 symbols today. These are symbols of healing and comfort, and they are designed to be focused on whenever you are having difficult thoughts about the past. These thoughts or symbols are an alternative to difficult thoughts you might be having. You don't have to concentrate too hard right now, but it might be good to take a note of what the goddess shares with you, so you can focus on these symbols in the waking world anytime you wish. The goddess moves her hand through the water in a circular motion. This creates a gentle hypnotic effect as you gaze on the surface of the water. You see an image in the surface of the water. This has no association with your past. It could be something entirely random. In fact, you might find that this image is totally inconsequential. But this is something to focus on when you want to steer your thoughts and your vibration in a new and improved direction. Without overthinking, just see this simple image emerge. This is image number 1. You only really need one, but the Goddess wants to give you 3 opportunities to find a symbol which works best for you, an image which works best for you. So she continues to gently swirl the water, creating another image, image number 2, on the surface of the water. Let that emerge now very easily. And without thinking too much, we're going to go straight on to image number 3. And now the Goddess invites you just to let those symbols go for the time being and to return to enjoying your experience in the water. If you feel inspired, you can move around the pool now. Maybe you'll be swimming. Maybe you will be walking through the water or floating around. Your Goddess will be here for you, keeping you safe, infusing the water with healing energy. The vibration of that energy is to help you release the past, to help you be more present, more connected to the here and now. You do not have to go underneath the water unless you feel comfortable. But if you'd like to splash your face and the top of your head with water, washing your hair, or the top of your head, this would support the healing process and cleansing your mental energy, sending this healing energy through the mind, through your bank of thoughts, through your memory bank. The Goddess asks you whether there is anything you'd like to share with her. She is a listening ear and holding this sacred space for you to tell her whatever's been on your mind, to release any burdens. This is not about receiving perfect answers from the Goddess or from the Divine. Sometimes, in releasing the past, we have to release the need for a perfect answer or theory as to explain why things happened in the way that they did in the past. We're letting that go in this moment. The need to satisfy the intellect with a rational explanation In this moment, pay attention to your heart center again, to your emotional world. And as you're sharing with the goddess, speak from the heart. There's nothing to figure out. There's no puzzle to solve right now. Just allow yourself to blend with this moment. You may indeed ask a question, but there is no need for an immediate answer in this moment. In order for you to feel soothed, you can feel soothed anyway. Looking at the goddess and her smiling face, you know in your core that everything is going to be all right. Enjoy this conversation or exchange of energies now as you move around and enjoy the water. The goddess invites you to look up, which you may not have done. There is a huge glass ceiling in this space, and you can see the night sky. The stars are very clear. You feel their light shining down on you, influencing your energy for the better. See if you can notice patterns now in the stars. Maybe you have knowledge of the stars and astronomy, so you can look for something specific. Maybe, as the ancients did, you can see your own patterns or shapes in the way the stars are placed. As you gaze up at these stars, you are imbued with a feeling of hope. You don't need a master plan in this moment. You don't need to know how to change some of the challenging aspects of your life. But looking up at the stars lets you know that there is a bigger plan and a divine pattern which is working in your favour. The goddess asks you to get ready, as there will be a shooting star in the next few moments. She asks you to formulate a wish in your mind about a positive outcome in the future. You will see this shooting star in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make a wish. Your goddess laughs with delight as your wish is made, and you see the star shoot across the sky. You might have noticed that your feet have risen to the surface of the water and that you're floating with ease as you gaze up at the stars. Your goddess asks you to recall the 3 symbols, or as many of them as you can, which are going to be a mental focal point when you're struggling with thoughts about the past. The images will anchor you back to this divine experience, back to your goddess, and back to your essential power. Once again, she's going to share with you image number 1, which you'll see in the night sky. Image number 2, and image number 3. You now focus back into the space and the pool that you're in, as you sense that it's almost time to leave. Just for now, you can return to this space and this meditation anytime you wish. The goddess has gone into a restful, meditative state. And now you're ready to climb back out from the water. You'll find 2 or 3 small steps within the water itself to bring you back to the surface. And you find your guide waiting with a robe to dry you. You place the robe on your body and you realize how regenerated you feel, how you now feel stronger. And we're going to move out of this space and we're going to go up the spiral staircase, returning back to where we came. This is a gently sloping staircase, very easy to ascend. It's candle lit. It's comforting. Up we go, winding slowly around. You'll probably sense your guide just behind you, looking after you. Once again, this stairwell turns into a corridor. A surface which inclines upwards, and we walk through back into the main corridor now, with the doors either side and the checkered marble floor. We pay attention to the sensory experiences, the sounds, the sights, any smells or other sensations. You step back into the cinema room and you see yourself sitting in meditation on the front row. You walk towards yourself now and you step back into your body. And here you are seated on the front row in the cinema room. The movie of the corridor begins to shrink and to disperse. The light moves back into your heart center from which this movie was projected. And you spend a few moments enjoying the silence of the cinema room. Your guide bids you farewell now in their own special way, and you feel the energy shift. You'll now become more aware of your own physical body and the sensation of your body wherever you are actually seated or laying down. The bed, the sofa, the chair, in the real world. Have a sense of that now. Wriggle your toes and fingers and pay attention to the sounds in the room that you're meditating in. Maybe there are sounds outside the window. And I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And when I reach 1, we will be fully back in the waking world. 10. Focusing on the breath once again. Bringing us back into the physical body. 9. Maybe you want to stretch your limbs to assert the body again. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the room. Slowly open your eyes. Take your time. Now is a good time to pause the recording to allow yourself to return to normal consciousness before I give you the closing messages. Remember, in the days that follow, the Reiki energy will be working through your system. So honour any emotions that come up. Sometimes difficult emotions come to the surface to be released, but this will be fleeting and a safe experience. Please reach out to me if you're confused or unsure about anything. Drink lots of water in the next few days and listen to your body's signals for rest, or indeed for play, and for giving yourself time off and some contrast from the daily grind. Thanks so much for taking part. We're going to be voting for next week's theme. You will find a playlist on my YouTube channel for all previous meditations. And remember, if you have any quandary, any burning questions, dilemmas about your life path, do reach out and I can provide you with a personalised reading, either via email by creating an audio file responding to your questions, or a written file. And I've also just reopened my one-to-one phone sessions. The links to that will be in the video description. As an energy exchange for today, You can simply share this YouTube channel with friends. Invite them into the group if you are a member. Let people know about my work. I'd be hugely appreciative. And you can also donate. The PayPal button is in the video description. If that feels right for you. Thanks again. Look after yourselves. Have a great week ahead.